What? Wait. Okay, so we're doing this for a toe? You got me all the way in here, dressed up in my best greens for a toe. Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. Ooh, big deal. Well, he is a big deal. So we're going to talk about his turf toe injury while he was on COVID break, even though he destroyed the Vikings defense. Maybe he doesn't need feet. So we're talking about toes. Normally, I don't deal with toes. That's for podiatry. But turf toes, what are they? Well, you basically, where's our foot? Oh, there. The toe, ow. The toe is here. Well, that's one of the toes. That's the big toe. And the turf toe is here. So when you land on turf, you land and you hyperextend and you can damage the MP joint in the great toe. When that happens in the great toe, you can get significant injuries. And you can have injury down here, sprain of the ligament. You can have you could have all sorts of injuries. You could have fractures. You could have tendon injuries. You could have volar plate injuries. You could have flexor tendon injuries. There's a lot of things you can have. And sometimes when you pull off, it can actually tear the flexor tendon. Or if you bend it the opposite way, you can actually injure the extensor tendon. You see but that's not necessarily all turf toe, but toe injuries on turf with impact. And oftentimes the classic drop toe or a mallet is in the martial arts people. But hey, if you drag your toe and say you have issues with your cleat, you drag your toe, not so common in footwear sports, but in martial arts, you can actually injure the upper tendon. But turf toe is basically related to a significant injury to the MP joint of the great toe. And what's worse than turf toe? Well, you could have a fracture. You could actually have a complete tendon rupture. You could have more than just a grade 1-2 sprain. You could have an injury dislocation. There's a lot of things that could be worse than that. So basically, turf toes can be pretty problematic and pretty sore and pretty prone to injury. Now, if they put a splint on him, stabilized it, and stabilize his forefoot, they could have done some shoe modifications to stabilize that. They could have also put a custom fabricated splint, taping of the toe. If it were minor, they could have done that so that when he's in his shoes and he lifts off, it doesn't strain that toe. Or if it's worse than a turf toe, and he played that well, then that just means the Vikings suck.
Their secondary is terrible.
Yeah. So, what can you say? And this is Aaron Rodgers, who is. So all I can say is that we don't know all the details. It's a frickin' toe that can cause significant injuries, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him very much. He had the injury during his COVID break because he didn't take his immunization or vaccination. So we'll just go with that. So anyway, Aaron Rodgers, regardless of what I say, I do hope you heal because I'd rather have good football than crappy football. And if you're going to play well, even with your injuries and COVID issues, great, but just be honest, The fact that Aaron Rodgers has a worse than turf toe injury doesn't mean anything because you really need to define exactly what the degree of turf toe injury is and what is worse than that, because medical jargon speak, that's meaningless until you actually define what the ligament tears, what is the severity of the sprain, the grade of injury, Does it involve the volar plate, which is the thick capsule on the undersurface, the volar side of the toe? Or are there other associated injuries like tendon flexor extensor tendons or other sprains, or is it associated with anything else? I have a feeling that whatever it is may be on his non-dominant throwing leg. So that means it's not the toe that he's putting pressure on, or if it is, he's modified his shoe wear, splint, or taping in such a manner that he's still able to throw, but he's such a good athlete, even with all his issues, that he can actually kill the Vikings so badly with a worse than turf toe injury. So,
But they did lose. He just lit him up.
yeah. Okay, fine.